Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
This happened last night, one of my few nopes, but it didn't really faze me. At a friend's creepy-ass house, 2 a.m. A little tired from earlier in the day and had no choice but to sleep at his. Walked down 3 or 4 steps into the main room to sleep on the couch. Had all his work shit rubbish and dirty clothes on it. Go sleep on the couch through the back room. It begins .jpg. Scared shitless of his house where I had most of my nopes, but he always took the piss out of my spooky stories I told him the next day. Through the main room, through the kitchen, and into the large open back room area thing. It's like an entrance room or living room, but located in the wrong place. 2 levels with 7 to 8 steps. Bottom level connects to a little hall that connects the kitchen. The top level connects to an unused room and bathroom, and a creepy-ass hallway that leads to nowhere that he uses for storing shit. Plus a little cupboard he calls the creepy cupboard, which is oddly shaped inside and has a little room under a hatch on the floor. The top level has the couch, but I can look over down across the bottom level to the kitchen door. The couch is against the wall that you look over, and not a few meters away is the small staircase, hallway to nowhere and gathering of doors. I am facing away to the back of my head towards them. None of the lights work. There are large windows spread across, acting as a wall to the back garden. The closest window to me is opposite the hallway to nowhere, and whatnot has a window frame in the shape of a cross that casts a spooky shadow across the room, as well as a spooky dead tree beyond the window. Shit was like in the movies. Meanwhile, I'm drifting off to sleep without a damn to give. My friend's dog walks freely around the house and sleeps down on the bottom level. I start to feel incredibly uneasy and sick in the stomach. It's dead quiet. Start hearing scuttling around the bottom level, relieved because I think it's the dog. The scuttling footsteps sounded like someone sneaking around barefoot who kept stubbing their toes and shit in the dark. They are so real I jump to the conclusion my friend is being an asshole and trying to make me shit myself. Footsteps come hesitantly up the steps as if I couldn't notice them. I've had a gut full of this shit, mate. Open my clenched eyes and come out of the fetal position. I'm not dumb, I can hear you coming up the steps. Spin around like lightning, expecting him to pop out and scream. Nothing comes out. Think he's hiding behind the pillar, blocking my view of the steps. Clench eyes. Hear the scuttles going down the steps, still sneaking, then circling the bottom level. The scuttling gets to me. Peer over the wall. Nothing. Decided running to the kitchen door was more risky than just pretending to be asleep. The footsteps would occasionally go up the steps and step right behind my head. I would turn around and be so delirious, I would almost throw up from spinning too fast. All I would see is melting doors and shadows. The footsteps stopped somewhere at the doors across from me, but the scuttling continued. Scuttling intensifies till it turns to straight up scratching on the doors, but from the inside. Inside, the creepy cupboard. Hear the toilet flush and friend walking out into the kitchen. He walks into the back room area and calls out from the kitchen, telling me to open the door for his dog because the scratching woke him up. Kiko, the dog, doesn't have fucking hands, you know. Hang on. She's outside, never mind. He walks away back to his room, paralyzed in fear. Pass out. Wake up. Come home. Post on Porcelain.
I hail from /K/. Be deployed in Afghanistan as a combat camera with 2nd Battalion, 5th Infantry. About 3 weeks before Operation Branding Iron. Night's winding down. Only guards on duty are this guy Will that I got to be friends with and a few other guys that I didn't know. Will wakes me up at 3 in the morning looking scared as shit. Dude, wake up. Well, this better be really important. Get my camis on, grab my rifle and go outside. Brings me to the short trench he was in. Dude, look over there. What I knew, oh my God. About 300 meters away, I see 2 red dots. They're about 7 inches apart based on my estimation. Hear distant growling. It's gotta be some kind of dog. Dude, no dog has red eyes. What about hellhounds? God damn it, why did you bring that up, Bat? Nope. My way back to my bunk. Next morning. Will said they moved around quite a bit and got closer at one point. Didn't see them ever again. But about a month later, there were reports of vicious dog attacks in the nearby village. 2 locals were killed.
Be 8 or 9 staying at my cousin's house in the middle of nowhere. Just an all-around creepy house. There were even old pictures of like Down syndrome children in the attic when they moved in. Sleeping in my cousin's room filled with creepy-ass porcelain dolls, I basically just laid awake all night. About 3 a.m., I hear what sounds like kids running up and down the hallway. Keep in mind I'm alone on the 2nd floor, but I shrug it off as my cousins. Those noises stopped shortly after they started, but then I heard what sounds like a man with boots on walking down the hallway. I thought it was my uncle, so I ignored it. But the boots just keep pacing up and down the hallway, so after a few minutes I grow some balls and go to look for what's making the noise. As soon as I open the door, it stops. I peek around the hallway and can't really see anything in the darkness, but the attic door slightly opens. Nope. I quickly shut the door, turned the light on, and just sat there in fear. I heard a few noises in the hallway throughout the night, but I was too scared to leave the room until morning. As soon as I see daylight, I open the door, run down the steps and into the kitchen where I'm greeted by my aunt. She asks me how I slept. Say not at all and explain what happened. Wanted to mention the creepy doll collection, but I didn't want to be rude. She tells me it's an old house and it creaks and makes noise and there's nothing to be afraid of. Bullshit. Talked to my cousins about it later that day, and my older cousin, whose room I was sleeping in, tells me she's had similar experiences and said she's seen shadows moving in the hallway, and that's why she usually sleeps in the living room. Not extremely scary, but just an odd paranormal experience I've had.
Move into a new house when I'm like 10 or 11. It was apparently my great uncles who I met once when I was 3. Get an unnerving feeling about the basement. Always cold, dog doesn't want to go down there. Hear shit down there like a scraping noise or whatever. Go down there with some friends one day because LOL creepy equals adventure. All these giant troughs littered around the floor. A giant broken pulley system on the wall. No windows down there at all, and you have to walk a long, narrow hallway to get into that back room, with a serious claustrophobic vibe. All of a sudden, I hear a loud banging sound from the hallway that leads to the room I'm in, like something coming towards us. Nope, J, PG, and GTFO upstairs with friends. Mum has to let my grandmother live with us because we can't afford medical bills, and I have to move my bedroom into the basement and into that room. Dad helps me clean it up, remove troughs and broken pulley system, freshen it up with new wallpaper, etc. I never like sleeping in my room since I always get a bad vibe and sleep on the living room couch or over a friend's house every night. I hear something like an animal breathing outside my door almost every night around 2 or 3 a.m. My mother said it's my dog or the animals who lived in the woods nearby, but I'm 99% sure it wasn't. Years later, once I'm off to college, Mum gives me an old picture album that had my great-uncle in it when he lived in our old house. He was a butcher, and my room was the room he used as his personal slaughterhouse. The pulley system was to suspend the pigs under the troughs, while he slashed their necks and allowed them to bleed out in that room. The face, when the way my bed was positioned, I was sleeping under the area where the pigs were slaughtered and was staring face up where they used to bleed out at whenever I would sleep. Nope.jpg. I never got over how creepy that was, considering the fact that we had a leaky pipe above my bed, where sometimes I would wake up to water dripping on my face.
House sitting for girlfriend's parents while they vacation in Thailand. Have the house for 3 weeks to ourselves. Be nighttime. Sleeping in her bed, which is in the middle of a long-ass hallway. We both hear a strange noise coming from the other end of the house. Quickly throw on pants. Poke head out the door. Shuffling noise, like someone dragging their feet coming from up near her parents' bedroom. She joins me at the door. Shh, her. Both hear it. She gets scared. Try to find a weapon. The only thing in her room is a pair of scissors. Time to man up. Grab scissors, open them up so I can stab with them. Flick on light to the hallway. Charge down the other end of the house. Turn on all the lights. Go through all the cupboards. Look under beds. Ransack this place. Nothing. Turn lights off as I walk back down the hallway to her bedroom. Get about 3 steps away from her. Hear whispering from back in the direction I just came. Turn around and yell, "Whoever you are, you better get the fuck out of here or I'm gonna stab you." Laughing noises. Look at her. Nope.jpg. Quickly jump back to her room, close the door, lean up against it. She is crying, freaking the hell out hard. Come up with a plan, make a break for the kitchen, grab proper big chef knives and meat cleavers and shit. She doesn't want me to leave her alone. Tell her to hold onto the back of my pants and follow me. Make a break for it. Get knives. Flick lights on everywhere as we go. Run back to the bedroom well armed this time. Calm ourselves down. Tell her I won't let anyone hurt her, but I gotta go out there to get the phone and call the police. Open the door to the bedroom. Get ready to sprint to the living room to grab phone. Lights go out. She screams. Basically jumps on my back. Tell her to chill. Stay here. I'm going in. Just as I'm about to run out the door. Huge amounts of laughter, easily audible now. Footstep noises from the roof, like someone is running upside down on the ceiling of the hallway, straight past us. As the footsteps pass, the laughter gets louder and then fades as whatever it was runs down the other end of the hall. Fuck this. Nope, 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 nope. My way to the living room and grab the phone. Hightail that shit like I am being powered by the west wind. Burst back into the room and slam the door behind me. Split-second pause. Look at each other. She is in tears and says, "What the fuck is happening? I want to get out of here." Bang! Something hits her bedroom window hard. Both jump out of our skins. She screams, bursts into hysterical fits of sobbing. Walk over to the window with knife in both hands. Dead bird twitching on the ground underneath it. Nopity nope noperson. Grab our shit and run. Make it to the front door, fumbling with keys to lock it behind us. Hear, "Get out," in a raspy-ass voice come from inside. Double nope. Don't even close the door, let alone lock it. Just run to the car, get in and drive back to my house. Build up courage to go back the next day during daylight hours to lock it all up. Her parents come home, tell them everything. Never sleep in that house again. She comes and lives with me after that. Her stepmom is apparently really in tune with shit like that. Tells us 2 little girls wake her up nearly every other night, leaning over her bed, and tell her to get out dressed in old-style clothing, and then immediately disappear into thin air. She never told anyone because she thought we'd all laugh at her and call her crazy. They sell the house a couple months later. Her little sister later tells us that the TV used to change to static for no reason all the time, without anyone doing anything when she was home alone, and that she used to feel like someone was pulling the sheets off her at night.
Holy shit, dude. Be 24. I'm 28 now, sleeping in a World War II cot in a spliced-together trailer. Place is shitty as hell, but we have a pool table. Try for 3 hours to get the AC to run. It's hot. The AC starts to run. Lay down. I hear something fucking nuts. Only describe it as a woo-bl-garsh type noise. I kinda cracked an eye. See a dark, tall old man about 6 feet tall leaning over me. He yells in an overtone-style voice to get the fuck out of his house. Nope. JPG. I jump up and break the cot. Run outside. It's dark. There's a streetlight about 50 feet away. Run like I'm running from cops. My friend sees me out of his window. He runs outside saying, "What the fuck, dude?" I describe what has happened. I described the old man to him. He said to my face, "Oh yeah, that's Grandpa. He has been dead for 5 years."
I've got a story as well, being a hunter. Early November went to Sweden with my brother to hunt elks, rented a cabin from the association, find a good spot in the woods with an open bearing, laying down for a couple of hours. No luck. Night comes. Return to the cabin, gear off and go to bed. Around 1 a.m., noise from outside startles the hell out of us, jolt us both awake. Sounds as if somebody was shoveling gravel for shits and gigs, only loud as hell. Sudden gurgle and a metal screech. Grab my Blazer K95 and load it. Try to see out of the window, tell my brother to take the flashlight, open the door to the cabin. Brother turns the flashlight on, scouts the surroundings, stops at the car. Both scared shitless. Take aim. Something big and hairless scuttering away from the light. Too big to be a wolf from what we saw, definitely not an animal we've ever seen. Didn't get any sleep that night. At least I got some nice marks on my car's bumper.
17 years old. Cat wakes me up in the middle of the night. She sleeps on the bed with me. She's hissing at the corner of the room, arched back and ears flat to her head. She never does this. Even to other cats. She's like 18 at the point, so she's generally a lazy old cat. Feel like there's someone in the corner, but I can't see anyone. I feel uneasy about it. Feel like the someone in the corner is getting closer to me. I can't explain how I knew it was, but it was scary. Cat is going crazy, almost howling at this point. Feel hands on my shoulders. I sat up when I woke up to see where my cat was. She sleeps at the foot of the bed. They're big, really rough hands. Nope, nope, nope. Can smell stale beer. Can sort of sense a large male entity in front of me, the size of a larger rugby player. Can sense the entity's rage. Think it might kill me. Crying. It stays there, gripping my shoulders really tight for a good few minutes. The cat is still flipping out. Suddenly the entity just disappears. What? Cat calms down, sleeps on my pillow next to me for weeks. She never does this. Super anxious around larger men since this incident.
Because so much effort has gone into keeping this thread alive, I too will contribute. My story is short and lackluster compared to many of my other experiences, but it is recent as this happened just yesterday. Things you should know. Grandfather passed away on May 1st. Estranged mother moved into his house to nurse him for the past few months. I had been living with him for a year prior to his death and moved out shortly before he became hospitalized. Everyone in the family and neighborhood believed the family home to be haunted. I believe my Gramps was the haunted one, as he was the only one oblivious to any paranormal activity. Anyway, visiting Mother at Gramps' house to do some chores. Mom has a house that is incredibly dark and stagnant, but I feel no presence of spirits, ghosts, demons, or anything like before. Open the windows, pull up the blinds, and share my opinion with my mother. She too feels like they're gone too, and how the house just feels like a shell now. I begin to ask my mother about the man in the basement and laundry room. Terrorized my mother and brother horribly, but mid-sentence I get this overwhelming urge to see for myself. Start to walk downstairs, but the bottom of the floor and half the steps are littered with dirty laundry my mother had thrown down there, unlike her, and hadn't washed. Leap down from the 6th step to the ground floor and catch movement in the left-hand corner of my eye in the storage room of the basement. Turn my head slowly and see a man in a suit, blurred out face for about 1.5 seconds before he vanishes. I say out loud, "Well, it looks like there's still one left, huh?" Feel movement to my right and turn on my heels toward it to see a blur flash into the laundry room. As I start toward the laundry room cautiously, my mother starts screaming for me from the hallway upstairs on the ground floor. As I turn and leap to the middle of the staircase, I feel something rushing at me and hear the laundry room door slam against the wall. All courage has left me by this point, and the nope has begun. Adrenaline rush gives my legs incredible strength, and I spring from the middle of the staircase to the top of the steps in one jump and leap through the doorway. My mother, in perfect rhythm with me, slams the basement door behind me, and we move to the fridge and just stare at the basement door for a few moments. I tell my mom, "Never mind. There's still one left." She says, "Don't worry about it. That's just Poppop." I look at her with disbelief. There is no way that was my grandpa. That wasn't Poppop, and even if it was, I'm going to have to take care of that, I say. My mom gets a panicked look on her face and tells me not to get involved. She can handle it. I tell her that I'll handle it myself, but she stops me and tells me my great-aunt is coming over tomorrow, today, to bless the house, and that will take care of it. Drop the subject. Do lawn work outside instead for the rest of the day. When it's time to go see my mom waving goodbye from the living room window, below her I see the curtain from the basement window rustle. Nope. My way right back to my apartment 2 towns away.
I suppose I can contribute to the thread. Got a decent story of that time I went hunting up in Washington. Sophomore year. Fall. Going hunting with Uncle. Staying in his creepy house on the edge of the woods. Spend sleep in the creepy guest room. The first night felt uneasy the whole time. iPod gets very staticky. But it had always worked before and it's brand new. The second night experience full-on sleep paralysis, voices and everything. Third night nothing happens. But I wake up at 5 a.m. to begin the day, half asleep getting ready to leave since Uncle has his truck warming up. It's dark, but see a black figure outside beckoning me to come out. Think it's Uncle and take 3 steps into the hallway towards the door. Fall down 2 flights of stairs into his creepy-ass basement storage. See, the door to the basement is right next to the hallway to the back door. It's always open, and at the opposite of you is a window, just like the back door. Now this would have been just a normal accident if my uncle was outside. But he wasn't. He ran to help me from the kitchen. I told him about what happened, and he ran outside to check for anyone. There was no one, no trace or anything. Love hunting, but weary as hell in his house. Hiking a few miles uphill wasn't fun that day either after that fall.
Be about 18. At my friend's parents' place, stayed up really late sitting in his kitchen talking about some bullshit. Probably girls. It's about 5 a.m. Still dark out as it was winter. The only other people in the house were his mother, who was sleeping in the basement and had to get up early, and his brother, who was sleeping feet from us in his room with his door closed. Friend's house is laid out like this. The front door opens into a landing that has stairs leading up into the kitchen where we were, and stairs down into the basement where his mother was sleeping. Start talking a bit louder. We both hear steps audibly coming up the basement steps into the landing, very slow and deliberate, but not overly loud. I say to my friend, "Oh, we must have woken your mom up." Friend nods, and keeps staring at the top of the stairs leading to the kitchen, where we were, expecting to see a pissed-off mom. No one appears. The slow, heavy footsteps stopped once they reached the landing, top of basement steps. Confused, we both walk over to the railing to look down into the landing. No one there. Both are creeped out the fuck out. Still no logical explanation of what we heard. It sounded like someone walked up the basement stairs and evaporated. We did not hear the same steps go back down the stairs. We asked his mom the next morning if she woke up and walked around anyway, but she said she didn't get up until hours later.
Happened last night. Be living in an apartment building. Be coming home from a night of heavy drinking at around 4 a.m. Have to go through the basement, through a hall to the elevator. Before my elevator, there is another about 15 meters apart. Walk past the first elevator, there is an old woman looking like a mummy just standing in the elevator. A T4 a.m. in the basement. Just standing. Walk past it and think it's weird. Be waiting for my elevator to come down. Lights go off. Suddenly, I see the woman's silhouette standing in the middle of the hallway, just staring at us perfectly still. Did not notice or hear it moving there at all. Start to get spooked, because what the fuck? It just stands there, stares at us blankly like a zombie. Lights are still off. My elevator finally comes. Say hi there to the silhouette. It tilts its head like an animal. Nope to the elevator.
B14. Be home alone. Be in the living room watching TV. Hear someone walking across the hallway upstairs. Think it's sister. Think that's stupid. My sister's not home. Go to the stairs and look up at my parents' bedroom. Door slowly closes. Think robber. Grab a knife from the kitchen and walk up the stairs. Parents' bedroom is open again. Walk in, feel creeped out, walk around, see nothing. Go back downstairs, look up at parents' bedroom again. See door slam shut. Freak out, grab phone, run out the front door, call mommy and ask what time she comes home. She asks for time. Walk back into the kitchen to see what time it is. See parents' bedroom door slam shut again on the way. Spend the rest of the day at my neighbor's house. Also, around that time period, I'd go to my fridge in the garage on occasion for sodas and shit. Between the garage and the house, there's a small storage room. I vaguely remember walking into the storage room and hearing the garage door open simultaneously to the storage room door on a few occasions. Oddly never made much of it, even though the garage door was always slightly open. I also had a weird feeling that someone was watching me at times, even seeing shit in the corner of my eyes only to see nothing there when I looked.
I was afraid of the dark when I was around 5. Had a perfect solution for it. Closed my eyes tight. 5-year-old me going to get a drink in the middle of the night. Kitchen darker than a coal mine. House is old. Light switches for some reason placed high. Beyond my reach. Eyes shut, I make my way to the fridge. Open it. Bask in its glorious light. Drink some juice. Time to get back to bed. Close eyes, close fridge. Feel my way back through the kitchen. Bump into something alive. Hear ominous, low laughter. Punch the thing blindly. Feel the punch connect. Hear muted oomph. Lights go on. I open my eyes. Dad standing there with just got punched in the balls expression on his face. Says, "Guess you'll turn out all right." At that time, I didn't understand what he meant. But looking back at that night, I realized that even back then, my fight-or-flight reflex leaned quite heavily to the fight side.
Be 6 years ago, playing World of Warcraft. The house is all empty. Raid over, go to cigarettes. Smoke outside as I hate bedsheets smelling of smoke. August, dark as hell, around midnight, rains heavily beyond comparison. Close the door behind me, gets locked by accident. Decide to smoke in peace before looking for a spare key. In a minute, I get that feeling I am not alone. I am being watched. Start scanning my surroundings. See nothing, but instinctively concentrate on a spot behind a nearby fence. Fucking eyes staring at me, literally glowing in the dark. Not cat's eyes, way too far apart and too round. The head tilts on the left as I look at it. Took the spare key under a potted plant. Get scared as fuck and start raging at the pair of eyes. Throw a rock towards it, approach it with a nearby broom as my spear. Eyes jump to the left as I try to pierce them with my spear. Fucker isn't scared of me, back down slowly. Get the door open, never breaking eye contact. Lock the door again, go to the nearby window to lock it too. Hear hoot, hoot, motherfucking huge-ass owl. Scared the crap out of me.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.